Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the Privacy Edition. Before we dive on into the news, if you want to help support the channel and you're stuck in your house and you want to at least be somewhere virtually, hey, consider getting a VPN. If you are in need of one, consider looking at private internet access. This is one of the 3 VPNs that I have affiliate links to at switchedtolinux.com/affiliates. Head on over to their page at tlm.li/PIA for more information. And we are going to proceed on in. First, an update story. Remember Edison Mail, the great new mail system, whatever they wanted to do with it? Well, they actually had an update to their bug. They said it wasn't a hack. It was just a bug in their code that allowed iOS users to see strangers' emails. Go Edison. I'm rooting for you, Edison. I'm rooting for you. I know it, Edison. You're there. So that's kind of, yeah, you know, whatever that's worth. So don't forget Edison Mail. This is the same company that harvests your information, scans through everything, sells it. They came back and said, we're not going to do that unless you really want us to. But I don't know if we are really able to trust them much or not. All right, and on to another good news. We're going to start with some good news. Apparently now, according to some courts, simply turning on somebody's phone qualifies as searching it. So in order to even turn on the phone to look at the lock screen, a court has ruled this week that indeed you actually have to have a search warrant just to do that little bit of thing, which is very good. The article kind of dives back into the story. It was somebody who was under arrest back in May 2019, so we're going back a year ago. And the police originally looked at the phone, and they were allowed to. So understand the difference. You're caught in the midst of doing something stupid, and the police show up on the scene. The police do not need a search warrant to search your vehicle if there is a preponderance of physical evidence at the scene of a crime. Now, there's been some questions about this. So recently, a court in Utah ruled that all drug dogs were no longer valid in the state of Utah because it was too difficult to tell what was going on. You know, they're like, they want to search your car. You say no. So they're like, all right. And so suddenly this drug dog would show up and walk around, and the dog just walks around. They say the dog hit on your car. Like, what did the dog do? The dog didn't do nothing. He walked around and sniffed the car. He didn't hit the car. He didn't bark. He didn't start scratching. He's just like, the guy just says, well, I know the dog so well, I can tell if he hits the car and nobody else really can. Well, you may as well just have no search warrants. And that's actually what happened in Utah. But you're going down the street, you're stopped, you roll down your window, and a big old pillow of weed smoke flows out. He goes, yeah, I can search your car. It's very clearly that there's weed going on in here. And so that's the way our laws are. So this guy was caught in the middle of a crime, and the police were allowed to pick up his phone at that time, look at the screen name. They didn't unlock it. They didn't try to unlock it. They didn't ask him to unlock it, but they took note of something that was on the screen. That one, the court said, that is valid because it was in the midst of a crime. The police showed up at the scene. They had all of the information there. They're able to do that much without having to go out and search for a warrant. But then the phone was confiscated and placed in evidence. The FBI powered on the phone to look at the lock screen without a warrant. Judge ruled threw all that out. So that's actually good news as to how that goes. So that's a neat story, and I'm sorry for not including anything about the Utah information. You can find that. That was actually something that just happened in the last week or two. All right, now on to the fight from this moron here, the fight against encryption. He's one more time sitting down here going, we need back doors because it took us 4 months to get into this phone. Good. You know, I love, I don't know if I can find it easily or not today. I saw it yesterday. I love the comment. Okay, good. It was the pinned comment, I think. So the government was able to get into a high-value device at a high cost and effort while not having routine backdoor, which allowed trivial mass spying on hundreds of millions of innocent people. Seems to me like the system worked as it should. Apple's security is good, but it isn't stop a nation with nearly unlimited resources and physical possession of the device until the heat death of the universe good. That means if it's worth it, the government will be able to break in and they can't engage in remote, non-destructive mass surveillance, which is what most privacy advocates are worried about. That is the most balanced comment I've ever seen, probably in the history of looking for comments on the internet, and it says things very well, okay? So again, yet another case, yet another bad thing happened. Police get yet another phone. They're like, we can't get into this phone in 3 seconds. We need Apple's help. We need to break encryption. We need to pass laws to break encryption. I'm sorry, no, you don't, because I have the right. If you guys wanna do all this and make encryption illegal, then the encryption that I have on my banking account, or how about this, just the simple encryption that I have on my work computer here to protect my client's files if some burglar shows up in my house and kifes my computer, the encryption I have to keep my client's data safe because I have access to lots of clients' back-end server information, that is allowed to be safe because of that, okay? And there's no reason the government needs a universal back door into this stuff. I wish they'd just shut up about it. All right, just shut up. All right, this is a late edition, just out of this today. So if you saw the show notes earlier, you missed this story. I thought this was a neat, interesting story on privacy. Grandmother ordered to delete Facebook photos under GDPR. What? So GDPR is generally a business type thing. But what happened here is there was a grandmother and she was estranged from her daughter and somehow got photos of the grandchildren, maybe from a other family member or whatever else. So she posts the photos up on Facebook. And I'm not sure if Facebook was originally contacted about this or not. But what it says here is that the estranged daughter, on behalf of her minor children, said, you can't have those photos. I don't want my children's pictures on Facebook. And the grandmother's like, but it's my pictures, because grandmothers sometimes are like that. And the fact is that grandmas, like, understand this, wrap your head around this. Oftentimes people, particularly your older people, have no concept of the dangers of using something like Facebook and other social media platforms. And so they just get some photo that's like, oh, hey, yeah, sure, you can snap a family photo. And before you know it, it's scattered all throughout the internet because, oh, it's so cute. And you post it on the internet to get all your friends. And of course, they don't realize that their account is set that friends of friends can download photos. And before you know it, Facebook is using your grandchildren's photos in some ad somewhere because you've signed away the rights. So the daughter says, no, I don't want my children's photos on Facebook. Your grandma's saying, oh, well, it's my grandchildren. I'm going to have my grandchildren on Facebook if I want to. I'm going to use that voice because I know people who do that and do not understand the dangers. And so she sued under GDPR and won. And the judge has ordered that she has 1 week to remove them, or she is going to receive a £50 per day fine, up to £1,000 every day that the photos are not deleted. So I call this a victory where I can sit down and say, hey, I do not want my photos on social media, period. He says from a YouTube channel, but there's other valid arguments about this. I knew a kid that did not like social media at all and went to a camp with a group of kids, and they were having a shirtless photo of him on Facebook. He's like, I don't want my shirtless photo on Facebook. He said, I don't want any photo of mine on Facebook. I said, well, you need to go tell the guy to take it down. And I don't know if they actually did or not, but that's the thing. We really need to have more control over things like that, because now of course Clearview AI has it, sends it. Oh well, at least I'm choosing to do this willingly. Researchers find a new Bluetooth bug that allows hackers to impersonate a trusted device. It's actually because of the contact tracing stuff that I am intentionally leaving Bluetooth off now. Like, I've known I should leave Bluetooth off for a long time, but no, now Bluetooth only gets toggled on for the period of time that I'm actually using it, doing a call on a headset or something. And as soon as I'm done with a call, I'm now trained to always keep Bluetooth turned off. But basically this bug allows you, now you have to get close within range, of course, and you have to be able to see some other information about the other devices. But then what you're able to do is grab the information and then impersonate an individual Bluetooth device. You can actually do it on a Raspberry Pi and a few little pieces of equipment, maybe a Saturday afternoon. And so just be aware. Now, this is fairly easy to fix. There's patches being rolled out. But again, the article did not tell us which version of Bluetooth or whatever else. So I guess update Bluetooth when it comes down. All right, and our feature story today, Doordash has made the news. In fact, Doordash has made the news so much, it's actually in the news twice this week. Doordash wants to share your location data with restaurants for faster pickup. Of course, they're billing a lot of this as if we know exactly, like if we know you're coming closer and you're heading towards our store, we know that we can put your food somewhere safe away from other people so that nobody gets the COVIDs. And so that's kind of what their idea is that they want to share the location data specifically with restaurants, so restaurants know better when to have an order ready for pickup. So, of course, based on seeing the location data, they can prioritize a customer who is coming in faster versus somebody who's coming in slower. And so these are some valid points, some valid arguments that could indeed be made. But at the same time, actually, somebody else commented in the comments down here. I'm not going to go hunt for that one, but he's like, I've worked with a lot of GPS APIs and things, and, you can actually do something like this without actually sharing the location data. This, to me, is about companies using whatever excuse. Name your excuse of the week. We all know what the excuse of the last 2 months has been, in order to double down and grab more information and grab more data. So we always have to be careful of that kind of stuff. And I just encourage you guys, don't share location data with anything that does not absolutely need location data. Hey, it's bad enough that now we're sharing our food preferences and credit cards with now multiple different stores, but at least Doordash screwed up so bad that you'll have to see at the Sillyville edition what happened and what happened. And it's just this glorious piece of amazingness. So stay tuned in for that. So thanks for coming along on this edition of the Privacy News. You can subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Have a look at our affiliate link there, which is private internet access, or our other affiliates at switchedtolinux.com/affiliates. Thanks for coming along, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.